What's up? What's up? What's up, my people? This your boy, Jermaine McCrimmon, and welcome to Humanity Unplugged. Well, guys, we've made it. It is to a full circle and a conclusion that we have made it a long way. We're at the end of the year 2025, and we are at the steps of walking through the door of 2026. And it's a few things we need to go over before we start our new year. I went over a few things earlier with the mindset and things as such, but we come to the time where we need to really dig deep and leave some stuff behind as we walk through the new year with a fresh start. That could be the name of this 99 episode: Fresh Start, Fresh Oil, uh, New Beginnings, things as such. But as I go through, we're going to talk about a few things. I have a few topics to talk about, and I have a main topic that I can alleviate more in, and I would in episode 100, just preparing you for it, really. Um, Before we get started and all that, and before we get into everything, I need to get a little more comfortable and make sure you guys are hearing me properly. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, everyone in the crew that make it happen. We like to thank all of our followers, all of our haters, whoever you are, you know who you are. You're a star. We thank you because without your feedback, we wouldn't keep working at what we're doing. Sometimes you need some trials and tribulations in your life. And I say that because trials and tribulations, it sometimes keep you focused. It make you work better. It makes you have a better understanding on life when you go through something. When you got it too good, you have no value of life sometimes. You don't know what struggling is if you ain't ever been through nothing. Some people don't go through something today in their 30s or 40s, and that's late in the game to test your faith and test your willpower and test who you are as a human being. So before we get started, we're going to definitely like to give thanks and wisdom and knowledge to the Most High who makes it happen for us each and every time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Christmas. And as the new year come to a closer or come closer, we like to hopefully give you a better perspective on everything. So the first thing I want to talk about, and it's nothing too crazy, but it's just what's going on in Minnesota. I don't know if you guys realize what happened in Minnesota. Tim Walz, Democratic mayor out there in Minnesota, uh, he been knowing about some fraud that been going on out there. Somalia child care fraud. Allegedly, before 2020 and before he was elected mayor out there, over $8 million a year have been pushed out into child care over there in Minnesota. And the problem is there's no kids inside the daycare. The signs that are up on the buildings are the incorrect spelling of words. Everything is out in the open. It looks like it's a joke, and it is a joke because the state of Minnesota been giving out money along with the funds of the federal government, giving out over $8 million a year to these daycare centers under the Somalia act of their faith, their religion. Somalia, they all have a different type of religion than regular Christians. They're a little different with how they do. No big deal. Everybody choose what they like to go with. But the people there that's under that regime doing what they're doing, there's no kids in these daycares. And one day they did a recovery and they did some research And then one day they found over $110 million being hustled out of the daycare centers out in Minnesota. And everyone knows about it. They've been talking about it for years, but yet no one has put a stop to it. Our government, our governors, our mayors all over are coming to the table and they talk about everything else except what they need to talk about. So that hit really hard out in Minnesota. And now people are have their eyes glued in on this fraud because it's big money, big money. We're talking about maybe $600 million or more has been hustled out of the government through these daycare agencies that are falsifying documents. There are no children there to be found. The people that's there can barely teach anything because the language, if they're teaching the English literature, which I do perhaps believe in the daycare, you're going to have some type of program or schedule or something you got to go by, is not being followed by because of the people that work there. So there got to be some guidelines looked at. They're going to have a lot of things in the next few days we're going to have to look into when it comes to that. And this is not cool. This is something that they really need to look into and check out because $600 million, $700 million is a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you, this runs really deep because for it to pass like that, places like this do get inspected. So who's inspecting these learning centers or these daycares for these children? Who's coming out giving them a clean bill of health, saying they meet all the rules and regulations to operate under this business name? Who's giving the okay? Well, I'm telling you now, something is not right because for them to give the okay, somebody got to have blinders on. You got to have blinders on. Now, even if they give the okay that particular day, throughout the year, the city supposed to do uninspected inspections. So you're supposed to just pop up, go inside and see what's going on. And they're supposed to be able to let you in so you can see what's going on and run through what they're having for lunch, what the kids have for snack, or what time operations close, how many people are here, is the area safe. These inspections supposed to be done periodically throughout the year at these daycare centers to ensure the safety of the kids. But of course, this is not happening, and things that are happening, it's ironic to me that no one in the upper echelon knows what's going on. Can't happen. I believe everybody's getting paid. It's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but there's no way you run a circus without having the animals in the circus. You're going to have some trainers. You're going to have the animals. And you got to have everybody involved to pull off this event. It don't go unseen for several years like this without everybody participating, playing their role. That's the thing with fraud. Fraud is such a thing that goes to the highest peak because everybody wants a piece of the money. So if you're looking at $600 million, now that's my amount of money that could have been hustled during this interaction with childcare fraud. And the reason why is because you have more than one daycare center that's ripping off the government. So things add up very fast. And you got to look at how long they might have been in business. So if they've been in business 5 years and you took $40 million, that one childcare LLC have took over $40 million and you got 5 of them, that's $200 million if they all took 40. So You're looking at big, 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 big money being hustled and swindled from the American people, tax-paying dollars going out the window to support such a thing, and they being hustled at the end of the day. So we're going to look into that. We're going to keep our eyes peeled and keep our ears open to what goes through the chain and see what we can dig up through this, because this is major. And you guys might think it's easy, but it's not. What you do is how you do what you do. And this is some high-end robbery. This ain't like breaking in somebody's house for burglary and taking their TV and their jewelry. This ain't that. This is government issued money sent out for a cause, and people are hustling this money out of the government over and over and over, month by month by month, year by year by year, and no one following up with this. Well, I'm here to tell you that Tim Walz, the mayor out there in Minnesota, I don't know the town he's in. I ain't got that deep on it. But he's been the mayor for over 4 years now, and they've been telling him for the longest this has been going on before 2020, before he even got elected. And what's happening is no one has paid attention to it. So this doesn't always fall on his hands, Mr. Tim Walz, because somebody was there before him. What were they doing about the situation? So this runs deep. This runs really deep. We don't know how many hands were greased. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I'll keep you tuned on that. On our next subject, we're going to talk about and look into, it happens out in Palmer, Texas. Palmer, Texas, out there by I-45 Expressway. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called Allura. Allura Innovations have been running a test all this year on autopilot tractor trailers, meaning tractor trailers with no drivers. They're all on computerized programming, autopilot, truck drives left to right, switch lanes, stops, everything with no driver inside of the cockpit of the truck. So when you look at this, Aurora is the big company who's headstrong and who's leading the way with this, but there's several other companies with this innovation that's already out, and they're testing out in I-45 Expressway. They've been on the expressway already in I-95, I-45. So they're already at I-45. They're already testing. They've been doing it all this year, and they're ready to release these trucks on the highway with no driver behind the wheel. Now, I tell you, this looked like and sounds like a tragedy dying to happen or waiting to happen. And this is something we got to check out. Now, there's other companies that's running the show. Wababi, I said it right, Wababi, Plus AI, and Kodak. Kodak, Plus AI, and Wababi are three other innovation companies that are running this program. Now, the founders of the program are the ones who founded the innovation in Tesla, the one who did Tesla and some other non-pilot, autopilot innovation stuff. 3 guys. So these 3 guys are going to be doing this stuff. They're going to be rolling it out. I don't know if it's going to be backed up by the government, but right now they're waiting on the government to free up some more, restrictions so they can run freely. And they're going to run. It's going to happen. It's not going to stop happening. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And what makes it so bad is it's all on a demand. Because now when you drive behind a tractor trailer, you only can drive 10 hours and you must pull over and stop for 4. You don't have to do that on the computer. You could just roll. So I want you to know that if this works, and it is going to work because they've already been out there testing, the economy is going to change, and it might go up for some categories, but it's going to go down when you talk about a kid or a guy coming out of high school, no further education but high school, and decide to drive a truck. Guess what? Your job might be cut from you. So the American way of getting in that vehicle and driving and on the highway could be cut out for a lot of American people. Resources, income, middle class families could be torn apart because the man is now not available to make ends meet because of a computer AI generated program, along with some innovators that want to do something like this. So this has been going on for a while. Allura, they've been established since 2017, and they're doing their thing. I must admit, they're doing their thing. It looks great. It looks like they're ready. But time will tell. Time will see what's going on. Excuse me for that, guys. But I will tell you that this is something big that we got to check out. It's just something we got to do. Hopefully you guys will check it out, look into it, do your research, see what's going on with that, and we can move forward and really see what's going on. My suggestion with that is don't quit the day job, guys. Don't quit the day job. If it could do tractor trailers, what's next? We got taxis next. We got limousines next. You got anything under the sun that deals with a car, vehicle, boat could be next in line for this AI technology to take over. So, guys, I want to talk about this in closing. I want to talk about something else I put on the screen. What is faith? Not faith, fate. Fate, fate. And the dictionary looks it up as fate is an unavoidable, often extreme force dictating what happens to you. That's what it says. Quite simple in a nutshell. A predetermined course set by outside forces, God, or universe circumstances. I don't know, guys, but the way they put it is you cannot avoid your fate. Whatever's meant for you to go through in life, you will go through it. As this year comes to an end and we rocking into 2026, our fate is an unavoidable force will come our way. And we have to understand a couple of things with our fate. One is, yes, it's unavoidable. Yes, it's a force that dictates what happened to you. Yes, it is. But one thing it cannot do is prevent you from overcoming that fate. Your willpower and what you have inside allows you to do the things you need to do. And that is called your destiny. Your destiny, in the dictionary explains that is internal and influence your higher purpose or potential achieved through your own will and decisions. So we got to understand that even though we're going to go through what is there for us to go through, our decision making, our positive thinking, our mindset allows us to recover and accomplish what we need to accomplish. Yes, our fate will be there and it might be bad, but our willingness to not give up, to look things head on, to keep a positive mindset, to achieve through the right decisions we put forth, to grow, and to always look at the greater good will keep us moving forward and achieving our goals. That's my message to everyone today. Don't let your fate outshine your destiny. You have greatness in you. And yes, you might have a lot to overcome. But as long as you keep your mind positive, anything can happen. So I don't want you guys to mess around and think that because you're going through rough times right now, that your destiny of you being great or achieving what you need to achieve won't happen for you because of what you're going through. What you're going through was already written, but it's how you stand from it dictates who you are. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is a Manny Unplugged podcast. This is a 99th episode, and we're pushing to 100. We're one away. We're here. We made it. God is still good. He's still in charge. Guys, do yourself a favor. Take a time to bow your head and tell him thank you for another year. God bless. Peace.